Hello everyone, I'm Groote with FedScoop TV, and today I'm talking with Carl de Groote, as Senior Director for Cisco Systems. Carl, thanks for joining us today.
Oh, glad to be here.
So, can you share with our viewers a story of helping an agency meet its IT modernization goals and how your company may have helped in that process?
Sure, I can give you a couple.
Okay.
So our mission in Cisco Federal or U.S. public sector is to help our customers transform the way they protect, serve, and educate. So our mission really becomes to help with their digital journey.
Okay.
So in that regard, we have 4 guiding principles. Keep it simple, open, automated, and effective. So if you take simplicity for a second, right? The United States, founded and governed for the last 200 years on a 6-page document. Our tax code today is 14,000 pages, right? So we help our agencies boil things down to their essence so that we can apply technologies. And in doing so, we maintain and make sure that the technology and the platforms that we provide are open and agile, right? So they leave room to mitigate the cost of integration and so that they can snap in capabilities or future capabilities that they need. Third, it's got to be automated. Anything that needs scale has to automate,
Right.
has to be automated. And then last, it's got to have a return to the business or mission, which means it has to be effective. So problems that we're focused on helping our agency solve, there were 1.7 million new cases of cancer last year. So we're helping HHS and CDC optimize the way they sequence genomes, right? So they can get information and analytics faster on rare diseases. We're helping our warfighters returning home that are confronted by post-traumatic stress syndrome.
Okay.
Right? Roughly 25% of the returning warfighter population are confronted with that.
Right.
We're helping to bring together clinicians and therapists together with that community to help them, to help them take on that challenge. In other places, we're helping with fraud, right?
Okay.
That's roughly a $27 billion problem here in the United States, and if we can solve that problem, we can potentially help subsidize healthcare. So that's just to name a few.
Okay.
Yep.
Okay, great. So there is this proposed bill from the Obama administration that U.S. CIO Tony Scott is overseeing that would make a $3.1 billion revolving IT modernization fund. Where do you see agencies being able to take that money, if that does become law, and make changes in their IT modernization strategy?
Yeah, sure. So, I think one area of a great opportunity is to help them reduce complexity. So systems that cost a lot to maintain, right? A lot to maintain code for, right? And aren't necessarily producing the outcomes and results that the end user community needs. That's an area of low-hanging fruit. So in doing so, we provide the platforms, the digital ready networks that help in that transformation to take advantage of configurable environments where they can easily bring or connect things to the network so they can draw analytics, right? And ultimately provide the end user community with better outcomes.
So federal agencies, see this urgent need to update their systems. What's the biggest technology challenge for them, and what do you think needs to change for them in order to accelerate their IT modernization plans?
Yeah, I think it's not necessarily a technology challenge. I think it's one of culture, right?
Okay.
And it's bringing together the various stakeholders to take that on. So I would call that IT and the CIOs. I would call that the development community, right? So operations and your DevOps guys, as well as your end user or your lines of business, if you will, the mission folks here in federal. And they're all focused on that end user environment and the outcomes that the lines of business require. So I'd say bringing all the stakeholders together to effectively plan, right? What the next iteration of their platform, what they conduct and execute their mission on. I'd say that's a great first step. So not necessarily technology, I think it's cultural, and I think planning, bringing the right stakeholders to the table can help take that on and accelerate any change or transformation they want to take on.
Okay, interesting. So final question, how are advances in cloud computing, containerization, agile development factoring into these IT modernization plans, and how do you see them affecting what happens 18 months down the road?
Sure. So cloud containers, they allow for rapid deployment of capabilities, right? They also simplify things down to the essence, especially containers, right? They run in a more minimal, nimble environment.
Right.
And that allows, candidly, IT along with application developers to push out capabilities to the enterprise faster. Security is a big consideration there. It goes back to enterprise architecture and planning. So again, adhering to a platform approach, having solid architecture, and then being able to orchestrate that environment effectively. It goes back to what I said earlier, simple, open, automated, and effective. You have to make sure that you have good standardized software policies and good IT policies so that you can govern those environments and effectively manage your IT assets to execute on the intent of the business and policy.
All right.
Make sense?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Appreciate your insight, Carl.
Okay.
Thanks for dropping by.
Thank you very much.
I'm Greg Otto for FedScoop TV. Thanks for watching.